I have this immense fear of ending up mediocre, and it stems from a lot of ambition. It stems from a lot of fear that me choosing to sacrifice so much, choosing to abstain from dopamine, choosing to put in the work on different endeavors and trying to be better rather than sitting there rotting away, consuming every source of dopamine I can get and going out to drink and party and things like that. I want something to validate my choice to sacrifice. I want something to tell me that it was all worth it. I want to find someone that can hold me and tell me that I've suffered and they're proud of me and I've come a long way. It is hella terrifying that even if we choose to sacrifice so much, the success isn't guaranteed. And those people who choose to cash out and enjoy their lives by perpetually consuming this dopamine will somehow end up in a better position than us who choose to sacrifice and work harder and structure our time. This video will be me being vulnerable and trying to talk about my immense desire for success and my immense ambition to take care of my family, to be better than the average person. Better as in incompetence. Of course, I have a lot of respect for average people. You can't even call them average because everyone's unique, right? But of course, I have a lot of respect for them. I'm not saying I'm better in any way. I can't believe I have to come clear about this before, you hate me or something. Look, okay, not better, maybe more mindful, more socially competent, financially competent. You see, I can't believe if I have to break this down. Shut up. I don't think I'll be able to accept the rat race. To work 9 to 5 and come back home just to look at Instagram or scroll through my phone, play video games until the next day comes, just perpetually waiting for the next 9 to 5 to come every single day, living for the weekends and then cashing out on the weekends. That is the most painful life I can ever dream about. This endless loop. It's worse than a prison. Not really, but it's pretty bad. I'm so afraid of that. I'm so afraid that becomes my life. And I think nowadays many of us have the liberty to fear that because there's so many more options of earning money now. I also harbor this heavy guilt with how much I've taken from my parents, how long I've been freeloading. I still remember going to get a tissue box from the place we store tissue boxes. And I realized that, they're not just the shitty kind where they're rough as hell, and they are the softer kind. Not even the softest, not even 3-ply, it's 2-ply. And I just felt like we don't need this unnecessary comfort. Like the fact that even simple things like this, I feel super grateful yet super guilty that I deserve this. When someone is dying of poverty, someone who deserves so much more than me, who works so much harder and suffers so much more, I'm able to enjoy softer tissues when they suffer so much. And what do they get? They have to wipe their nose on the floor. And those people who are handicapped, so much more competent, so much more grateful and perhaps intelligent. They're sitting handicapped in the hospital, or they have terminal cancer, or they have some sort of terminal illness, whatever. And I'm here enjoying my life while I still dare to consume media, and I still dare to play video games, and I still dare to go out and party, while they are sitting there wishing they had an opportunity like I had. And I carry this guilt with a large burden, and I think it's deserving guilt. I also think that it's almost healthy guilt, because I don't think that we should live life blindly consuming without thinking of these people and thinking about what we can provide for them. Those people who are not given the same opportunity as we are, yet we spend our opportunity rotting away. And you see that? That thing, the most beautiful human being on the planet. If I can't be anything of substance with such a privileged and enabled position, I have so much undeserved comfort, and if I still end up with nothing of substance, even though everything is allowing me to work as hard as possible and achieve things, I just don't think I'll deserve to feel any sense of fulfillment if I don't even try. And people might attribute that to weakness and trauma. Maybe that is possible, maybe, it definitely is. Despite that, I possess a large desire to achieve things and have that as a huge fuck you to the past, and a fuck you to everybody who made fun of me for trying to sacrifice so much, for being so deliberate about my progress. I really want to have success so that, we can go in your face to this bunch of fuckers. Everyone that gave me heartbreak, my whole teen life spending mindlessly living, consuming every video game, every media content. I still remember I would sit at McDonald's playing video games on my phone with my friend for hours on end, and it was almost daily. It was crazy. Diane, looking at you, I feel like I've only been alive for the last year, probably. because I've started taking control of my own life. I feel this responsibility and pride to take care of everyone I love, to provide for them. I want everyone in my immediate presence to be proud that they have me. I want to provide them with endless comfort, endless freedom, financial freedom. My grandmothers, both of them, always share with me stories about their youthful experience and how they used to be good at some sport, or how they used to suffer a lot by selling shit on the street alone, or perpetually pulling all-nighters to work for money. And hearing their youthful experiences, their face light up when they tell me about how much they miss playing sports with their friends and things like that. I really desperately want to give them that experience again and provide them with the opportunity to experience that, to make money, to pay for their travels and bring them to see things, make them feel that youthful ignition again. And yeah, that's a big goal of mine, to be able to afford a full trip entirely paid by me, bringing my grandparents out. I think that is beautiful, and I can't wait to do that. I want to be financially free and socially competent so that I can take care of my family in the future. I want the time and capacity to do so, and I can only do that by having a lot of excess finance. I want beautiful children, I want a beautiful wife, a beautiful family, and I want to have time and capacity to care for them, to watch over my child growing up, and I want time and capacity to care for my sister, my parents, my grandparents, my relatives. And working in the rat race 9 to 5, perpetually consuming, waiting for the next moment to get back to work, is just not a life that is capable of that. And I feel like financial competence, social competence, everything competence, it brings you dignity. You know, everything you say won't really matter unless you're in some sort of high position, like you have a high social following or you make a lot of money. If not, the things you say don't really have any substance to them if you don't make any money, or if you haven't proven yourself in some way. Like for mothers, I think raising children is their proof of competence. For fathers, for men it's probably different. It's like financial competence. It's like, what have you experienced? You know, what people do you know? What's your social proof? And without dignity, it's very hard to share about our own lives, because we won't really make sense to people at a higher position, because the things we struggle with are so trivial to them, and you won't be in any place to educate or share unless you have some level of success for yourself, or at least tried many things and know what not to do. In order to be listened to and respected, especially in the adult world, you have to be living evidence that what you say works. Going to the topic earlier, I feel this huge sense of urgency to become successful, because I don't think my grandparents have much time left to experience that youthful experience, and I really want to make money as soon as possible to keep my promises to people before they don't have that chance to feel and experience these things again. I don't want to run out of time to not be able to do that. It's hella terrifying. It's so scary to choose to sacrifice so much, choose to abstain from dopamine and consumption, choose to structure my time instead of spending it doing whatever I want, and ending up still as another one of the failures, still ending up as nothing. And I'm gonna have to make a lot of risk and sacrifices to get to the place I want, and that is hella terrifying. I think that ambition is very important, and you should strive to. Let's compete, and then we can motivate each other to work harder with all the reasons that we may have. You know, you have a lot to fight for as well. Let's all fight together, and maybe someday we will reap the benefits of our sacrifices to a better world.